Hi friends, Kit Kat Wombat here with Jose. Today we're gonna review Frozen 2. So we saw it last night, the Friday after it came out. And yeah, so we're gonna talk, we've got a few talking points that we wanna go through, but for the most part it's gonna be pretty freeform. So what was your overall opinion of the movie? First, like just overall, and then compared to the first Frozen movie. Jose.
Like I'm sure the title says, we're not doing spoilers.
Yeah, we're
So,
going to try to avoid spoilers.
well, stuff like the song list and everything, which has been public for a long time, we will talk about that. But nothing plot related. So I thought it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Like if like I enjoyed the first movie, and this one was way more like tongue in cheek and funny and just more actiony. It had a lot more interesting stuff happening, and for me, I think I prefer it to the first one. But I think it's the first one will still be, I think, considered better in most people's places. And yeah, as on its own, it's a really good Walt Disney Animation Studios movie, and I think a really good follow up to Frozen One.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a pretty similar opinion to Jose. I do actually, I think that I liked it better than the first one just because I thought the plot itself was a little bit more interesting. There was a little bit more to it, and a lot more action to it as well. Although I do think overall that I do prefer the songs in Frozen 1 over the songs in this one, but we'll talk more about songs later on. But overall, plot wise, Frozen 2 was definitely a lot more interesting to watch. It was a lot more engaging, and there were some pretty funny parts. So, do you want to share what your favorite moment was of the entire movie?
Sure. My favorite moment would probably be, oh, that's it's a hard one. I think it's either I think it's a tie between the whole like 3 minutes of Kristoff's song, his solo song, and also I think but that's a song. So, but more than that, I think the Elsa's kind of like struggle against the dark sea, that scene that was in the one of the first few trailers with her like kind of like on the like stormy beach, and everything reflected a lot on Elsa's character, and it was just a fun sequence to watch and enjoy, and definitely yeah, I would say that's my favorite.
I'm kind of torn between two as well, and it's like kind of like, do I pick the one that I thought was the funniest moment or the one that was like the most like emotional for me? So I really did. There's a portion where Olaf does kind of like a tongue-in-cheek little reenactment of Frozen 1. It was just so great. I love it when like movies have their like little like making fun of themselves thing. It was always a good time. But yeah, besides the Olaf thing, there's like a portion near the end. Elsa kind of revisits some of her memories in a very special and like visually pleasing way, and it made me really emotional, and I really liked that moment. What about your least favorite moment?
The moment of the lowest point for our characters. So that sequence was not as hard hitting as I think it could have been. Felt too sudden and like resolved, or a little too sudden. So I think, yeah. So I think that's kind of my.
My least favorite moment is like a little bit more shallow, and once we get to our like least favorite characters, and you'll probably recognize a little theme with my least favorites. So it's not really a spoiler because they like obviously Kristoff wants to propose to Anna, right? But then like he like has like a little trouble like finding the right time, and so he recruits help, and he goes through this whole little like sequence of this like ceremony of like trying to propose to her, and like that whole sequence I just thought was like weird, and I didn't really care for it.
Okay.
Anyways. So, speaking of favorite or characters, do you want to share what your favorite character was?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
Sure. I think, um, I want to say, which is also kind of surprising. I think Elsa. So I know that the first movie was kind of like so Anna and Elsa are supposed to be kind of like equal characters here. They're both main like equal main characters in this, but I feel like Elsa's arc and everything was handled a lot better than I guess Anna's, and it was it really made me um, I liked Anna more before we came into this movie, and I came out liking Elsa as a whole more at the end of this. So yeah, I'd say Elsa and Elsa.
Elsa, nice. Okay. So, my favorite character, I really do, of course, like Anna and Elsa, but like I really liked Olaf in this movie. Like, he had so many, like, clever quips, and it was just like he sometimes added some much needed, like funny moments or whatever, and it just like it felt like the creators of the movie really tried to make him say a lot more things that were in there for like the adults and the parent in the audience rather than for the kids. So like the kids would giggle at what he was saying, but I think you had to be a little older to really like understand the deeper meaning of a lot of his lines, and he was less annoying than he was in the first movie by far, which I really appreciated. So like my man Olaf.
Yeah. Again, surprises everywhere. Yeah. And
yeah. So least favorite character?
I think. Oh man, it's kind of hard. I enjoyed all of the characters, even like Kristoff and everything. So I guess I would put maybe Anna and Elsa's mom as kind of like my least favorite character, but because I think they could have done a lot more. Because I didn't really dislike anyone in the movie. They were all cool, but I think I think there's a lot of like missed potential there, and that's my perspective.
Yeah. Well, my least favorite character, once you see the movie, is going to be like obvious, and it's not really like a huge part. It's a very minor character, but it's Anna and Elsa's grandfather. Least favorite character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was annoyed by Kristoff in this movie. I think that he got in Anna's way a little bit. And that made me a little upset, and because I wanted Anna to have a little bit more time being herself and being her own hero. What was your favorite song, Jose?
I really liked Lost in the Woods. This is the one this is kind of like Kristoff's like 80s power ballad. At least that's what people on the internet call it. And it was it was like peak like tongue in cheek and just a lot of fun, and it's definitely Kristoff's best point in the movie for me, and it was one of the high points in I almost called it one of my favorite moments. So yeah, the entire song was really, really fun.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, my favorite song was not the one that they were like advertising with so much. So, they seemed like they wanted Into the Unknown to be the favorite song, which it was good. I liked it, and I also like that Panic at the Disco does a cover of it in the ending credits. But it was not my favorite song. But my favorite song right now, and this could change, is Show Yourself, which is kind of like Elsa's second, like, like, I am here and I am doing my thing. That's kind of like her song. Like, powerful, like, Let It Go is very powerful, and like, just like all of the emotions are out there in that one, and I really like that. I really like, a good, like, emotional song. What's your least favorite song?
Olaf's song called When I Am Older.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I just didn't. It was just a sequence, and it felt like it didn't really move things forward. There's very little narrative purpose, and it was just not that funny like Olaf's other scenes. So
Yeah. My least favorite song is Some Things Never Change. I that whole sequence I felt uncomfortable, and like they were kind of trying to do the like juxtaposition of like, okay, the song's called Some Things Never Change, and then the whole sequence like things are changing, and like they were trying to be this like really like, oh, it's ironic thing. Just like with Love as an Open Door, they're just like constantly closing doors. It's like that same kind of thing, but it wasn't as catchy as Love as an Open Door, and it was like it felt like it didn't belong, and it was unnecessary, and like they could have used that time to expand the plot some more. Like one more thing before we do closing thoughts. Okay,
yeah.
Braid Elsa or Hair Down Elsa?
Ooh, Elsa gets done a lot of justice in this movie. All her outfits, all her different hairstyles. I think Hair Down Elsa is pretty cool, and it's obviously it's like it's a metaphor, but I like Braid Elsa more.
Nice. I like Braid Elsa more too, I think, but there's like for most of the movie, Anna has like a kind of like braid crown, and then the rest of her hair is down, and like that is perfect. It looks so gorgeous.
Yeah, this is what and this is okay.
Yeah, you can't really tell on the like this picture, but and like the back of her hair looks really good like that. I'm like, if I could get my hair to look like that all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like tutorials online.
Oh yeah, there always is.
Yeah, I agree that hairstyle's
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
then like, which do you like better? Elsa's blue dress or the white dress?
The white dress
At the end, yeah.
and I would say the blue dress because it's more like I don't know, just I don't remember the white dress too much. Like I know it has the long thingies on the arms, but I like the blue dress.
Nice. I like the white dress better. Okay, now we can do closing thoughts.
Nice.
Oh.
I enjoyed the movie. I think a lot of critics or some critics are saying that it's kind of an unnecessary sequel, and I disagree. I think it's pretty necessary, and I think it really does move kind of it moves all the characters forward, and each character has their own arc that they and transformation that they undergo in this movie, and I think I think it's really necessary.
Nice. I also really enjoyed it. I am a little scared that they're going, depending on how popular this one is, which like it will be really popular. I'm a little scared that they're gonna do a Frozen 3. I do think that's a possibility just because Disney tends to do that kind of thing, and I don't want them to make another one. Like they closed everything up that they needed closing. I would think it would be okay for them to do like another short, like the Olaf's Frozen Adventure or the whatever, the Frozen Fever. Like I think it would be fine for them to do another short, and like in fact I would welcome that.
Yeah, me too.
Or even like Tangled Ever After. I'd love to see a Frozen version of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like I don't think that they need to do anything more. I think that it's a good ending place.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for so much for watching our little Frozen 2 review. If you saw the movie, let me know what you thought of the movie down below in the comments. And feel free to subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.